stacking every month. Put that work in, I deserve to stand. Bring the baddies to the front. It's the type of life that I want. It's the type of life that I want. It's the type of life that I want. Yeah. It's the type of life that I want. It's the type of life that I want. Look, I deserve some time away. I feel good cause I'm posted. Just won't put my feet in the sand. Ain't trying to be far from oceans. Don't want stress about nothing, just fruit and wine.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Back at you with another video on today. This is Raw Detroit. Make sure you guys hit that subscription button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and hit the word all so that you'll receive every notification that comes from this channel. I'd like to thank everybody that's been subscribing to the channel. Without you, none of this is possible. But we want to get right into it. We're going to talk about offensive coordinator Ben Johnson and the situation with the openings of being a head coach in the NFL. Now, we know for the last couple past seasons, if you're a Detroit Lions fans, that Ben Johnson and AG, Aaron Glenn, have been going out and seeking opportunities to be head coaches in the NFL. Now, we know that everybody and their mother is going to be after Ben Johnson and AG. Both of these guys, definitely, man, you know, AG, I got to say this about Aaron Glenn is that he's been doing the best with what he has on the team. And you got to love it. You know, sometimes, you know, I know, you know, fans in Detroit might have complained about AG and things of that nature. And, you know, because we want a top defense. That's what it's all about. You know, you want to have one of the best defenses in the NFL. And Aaron Glenn has been making the most of the defense that Brad Holmes has been able to get him. And you got to love that if you're AG, you know, just making the most of every opportunity with the Detroit Lions. And with Ben Johnson, you know, when the opportunity for him, a lot of people was really, really high on Ben Johnson last season. And I'm surprised he didn't go to Washington, because if he did, dang, man, he would have been the head coach of Jaden Daniels, who's probably going to win the Rookie of the Year for the quarterbacks, for the offensive side of the ball. Jaden Daniels is looking good in Washington. Washington is playing some good football. But at the same time, you got to recognize this, is that, yes, Ben Johnson is going to be sought after by a lot of different teams. And when you're winning, guys are going to try to come and poach your offensive coordinators and your defensive coordinators, especially when you're looking to replace the coach that you had. Now, this will be the first time, if they do get the opportunity this season to be head coaches in the NFL, the season coming up after this, definitely, man, it's gonna be up to them. I think the jobs that Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn is gonna take is gonna be something favorable for these guys. Now, yes, we do know it's a lot of chatter going on in Chicago about the Bears wanting Ben Johnson, and rightfully so, man. You're gonna be sought after when you got an offense the way that Ben Johnson has put together in Detroit. How these guys have been balling. Jared Goff has looked good under Ben Johnson ever since Ben Johnson has been the offensive coordinator. And pretty much this offense has been very, very creative. I would say that right now Ben Johnson is probably number 2 right behind Andy Reid when it comes to making trick plays, coming up with different type of plays and strategies throughout the game. Ben Johnson is kind of starting to get right behind Andy Reid. Now, we know that Andy Reid is definitely a mastermind of the offensive side of the ball. And shout out to Andy Reid. But at the same time, we know that Ben Johnson is one of those younger guys that is up and coming, and he is going to be sought after. A lot of teams this offseason are going to put their chips where they may, and they're going to try to pry Ben Johnson away from the Lions. And we know that Ben, you know, he wanted to stay because he wants to win with the Lions, and he wants to win a Super Bowl with the Lions. Now, if the Lions are some kind of way this season end up making it to the Super Bowl and happening to win, then I think that it's probably going to be the end of Ben Johnson. Maybe he may want to just stay with the Detroit Lions. Sometimes the grass is not greener on the other side, and you might want to just stay with where you're at, and you're comfortable with being an offensive coordinator instead of a head coach, because we know that Ben Johnson last year turned down a couple opportunities to be a head coach. He turned down a job with Carolina, and he turned down, we know, specifically he turned down with Washington as well. So there's been opportunities for Ben Johnson to be a head coach, but he's turned down those opportunities. Now, would he go to Chicago? We don't know. Chicago do have a rookie quarterback in Caleb Williams, who we know that Caleb Williams can ball, man. We know that he can play, but the organization of the Bears right now is just, the things that they're doing is just not good. You know, instead of drafting Roma Dunze, they probably should have drafted offensive linemen. You have to have somebody that's going to block for this kid. If he gets time and he has a good offensive line, Caleb Williams can destroy you, man. He can extend plays with his legs. And right now he's looking mediocre because his line is not good. And then, you know, they're not putting him in a good situation. So basically, you know what I mean? It's like when you really look at the whole scenario and situation, you got to understand that Ben Johnson is just going to be that guy that everybody wants on their team because they see what he does with the offensive lineman. Even with Penei Sewell, sometimes every now and then he'll shake up things and throw a play in for Penei Sewell. He's done different things with the lateral move with Amon-Ra and Jahmyr Gibbs. There's been certain different things that Ben Johnson has been able to do, and you're like, man, this dude. He's very creative when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. So definitely, man, you know that a lot of teams are going to be looking at Ben Johnson. He's going to be, I'm telling you, Ben Johnson and AG is probably going to be high on a lot of people's list this year, especially that the Lions are winning. So whether or not he decides to go to Chicago is going to be totally on him. But definitely, man, he'll have a young quarterback to groom in Caleb Williams. And they're going to have to draft some offensive linemen over there, and they're going to have to get this Bears organization together. But at the same time, we don't know. He could just stay an offensive coordinator.
Stacking every month, put that work in. I deserve to stand. Bring the baddies to the front. It's the type of life that I want. It's the type of life that I want. It's the type of life that I want. Yeah. It's the type of life that I want. It's the type of life that I want. Look, I deserve some time away. I feel good cause I'm posted. Just won't put my feet in the sand. Ain't tryna be far from oceans. Don't want stress about nothing, just fruit and wine, I'm floating. Little vacation, little mimosa, yeah. Solo trips ain't really doing nothing but chillin'. Catch my eye, I might get active before it's back to business. You know me, I cross my T's, but right now I'm recharging. Put my phone on D&D, my emails out of office. Stacking every month, put that work in. I deserve to stand. Bring the baddies.